Have you ever wanted to leave your house and go an adventurous day trip out fishing, but you had no idea what species you would have the best chance of catching? Perhaps it was the month of November and you weren't sure what species of fish would be hungry? Maybe you have wondered what is the best month of the year to fish in Ontario, or what is the best month to target a rare species like bowfin? Have no fear. In this video, I am going to give you my monthly schedule for what species I target so that you can always have a good idea on where to go and what is biting. Let's get into it, starting in the month of January. For those not from Canada, January is the coldest month of the year. If a deep freeze produces safe ice fishing for pike and perch would likely be your best option. February. February is similar usually to January, as long as we don't get warm thaws. Ice fishing is still the best option. Species like burbot and whitefish often bite in Lake Simcoe. March. It is during this month of the year that pike will migrate upstream to spawn. If you can catch them before the season closes, they will be in a feeding frenzy mood. They seem to let their guard down for lures in March, especially for a new MEP spinner. With warmer temperatures slowly arriving, bullhead catfish start gaining their appetite back in the month of March. Target them during warm spells in the weather if the local waters aren't too flooded from snow melting. If you have some smelly bait, a productive spot and patience when setting the hook, you should be able to catch some. April. Around the start of April, all sorts of panfish begin to come alive and start moving closer to shore. Sunfish, bullhead catfish, crappie, and other panfish are now willing to take a good swipe at small bait. In the middle of April, various species of sucker start running up creeks and rivers to spawn, sometimes in great numbers if the fish are from the Great Lakes. Have the right bait or some good bow fishing skill, and you can catch some if you can time their runs right. For those who enjoy a challenge, the middle of April is also one of the few times of the year you can catch 4-foot lake trout from the Great Lakes shoreline. I have another video on my channel for how to accomplish this feat for those who would like to learn. This video wouldn't be complete, of course, if I didn't remind everyone that the last week of April is trout opener, the best time of the year to catch an unsuspecting trophy. May, the best month of the year. Pretty much all Ontario's fish species are on fire during this month. However, I will do my best to pick fish species that I know have a limited window exclusive to the month of May. Make sure to hit your local creeks in early May before the summer heat arrives, as some steelhead and trophy browns are running, and the resident trout are hungry. Black crappie are also in spawning colors and are right up against the shoreline. I have found that invasive goldfish have a better appetite in late spring before the summer heat arrives. To learn where to catch these fish, ask me in the comments section below or watch my channel's how-to videos on this invasive species. Pike and walleye season opens in the middle of May. This provides a great opportunity to fool an unsuspecting trophy into biting your lure, especially if you have a secret spot. Walleye may also congregate near river dams to spawn, like Caledonia Dam, running up all the way up from the Great Lakes. With the summer heat here in the last week of May, longnose gar will also appear and congregate near dams and marinas in order to spawn. However, it is extremely difficult to catch them due to their thick skull, so anglers prefer to use rope to catch them rather than hooks. To learn how to catch them using rope lures and where to find them in southern Ontario, explore my channel for my how-to video on this topic. In swampy Great Lakes waterways and environments, bowfin also start to show bright green spawning colors and an increased appetite. Use cut bait, raw shrimp, or other natural baits. Sit and wait, and you'll catch them if they are around. They can give great fights. June. The first half of June is just like May, however, as the heat continues to build up. The bites will continue to die down to a normal amount. For the first half of June, the species I would recommend targeting are long-nose gar, bowfin, channel catfish, and resident trout if it's not too hot out yet. Anglers who enjoy aiming for the fish of 10,000 casts will be happy. as muskie opens in some zones during the first weekend in June. Sharpen your treble hooks and head out. Bass opener. During the last week of June can also be an awesome time, especially up in any lake north of Barrie or Kingston and on Lake Erie's shoreline. July. With the summer heat now here and in full swing, usually only fish that can tolerate or escape the heat will bite. This is a great month to use some fresh catfish bait and go down to the local river. Sit on a lawn chair with a beer in your hand and wait for a 10-pound plus channel catfish to bite. Night fishing is also a great option. Or perhaps float down a smallmouth bass river in a tube or kayak in the cool waters and wait for a possible strike. Sometimes if you bring your waders, walleye at the well-oxygenated and cooler dams will also bite during this month, especially in the evenings and early mornings. August. The month of August can still have that intense summer heat and humidity. However, it can at times have cooler spells for the summer, as the environment starts to brace for the incoming fall weather. It takes a lot more skill to catch fish in August than it does in May, June, and July, I find. I personally believe this is due to the heat and increased fishing pressure in the summer months. For best chances of success, the species I would recommend for you to target are large and smallmouth bass, channel catfish, plus muskie and spring-fed stream trout during the last week of the month. September. September generally has cooler weather than August, however, it still can get quite hot at times. Any cold front coming in can often shut down the bite, making warm water species more finicky. However, I personally find that largemouth bass fishing is often productive during this month. Cool and cold water species like pike and muskie will have a bigger appetite during this month. So make time to try for them too. It is the last month of the year that trout season is open. With the summer heat gone, if they are present, they will usually bite. The main species September is known for, to most anglers though, is definitely salmon. Whenever rainfall hits the area, you can count on the salmon running up the shallow creeks to spawn. October. Halfway through October, Canadian Thanksgiving. The climate turns from being pleasant into brisk, colder weather as winter approaches. It's your last shot to catch any species of panfish, like bluegills, goldfish, etc., before Thanksgiving comes, as they won't bite again until ice fishing season is here. The salmon will be running well throughout the month of October, so time their runs right and give them a shot. November. November is like the first unofficial month of winter. It's usually a cold month in the negative temperatures. However, if you are willing to brave the cold wind, some anglers legally catch Great Lakes trout like steelhead, browns, and lakers from the Niagara River and Lake Ontario shoreline. If you want to catch the biggest muskie in a lake, the month of November is when they are most likely to be hungry, with trophies always getting pulled out every November. The month of November can also produce fall runs of walleye into major rivers. Bring waders, built to keep you warm. December. Most in December are hopeful for early ice over the lakes. However, for winter steelheaders, they would always prefer wading out in the cold rivers for a prized steelhead. This month, some also managed to catch prized trout from piers along Lake Ontario.
Hey everyone, so that is commonly the routine that I find most fish are on every year in southern Ontario. It just kind of repeats year after year. But I hope you definitely learned something useful from this video. And I'd like to encourage you, of course, to check out my channel and to see if there's anything else you could perhaps learn from other videos, and to see if you would like to subscribe. If you've watched this long into the video, you might want to subscribe, you know? Anyway, you guys have a great day. I'll see you on the riverbank, and stay tuned.